I use light as a coping tool. I discovered this about 2 years ago. If I adjust the light that's around me, so if I'm inside, it's adjusting the lights in the room. If I'm outside, it's, adjusting my perception of the light. So sunglasses, on versus off kind of thing, etc. When there is less light, the freeze and submit parts feel comforted and safe, for me at least. This is my experience. We'll find out as we continue if this is how other systems work and how other people with structural dissociation experience their life. I'm curious to hear. But with less light, the submit and freeze parts feel comforted and safe and heard and seen and taken care of and whatnot. And more light helps when the fight or flight parts are present or needing to be seen or heard. And so whether I'm trying to positively trigger parts forward, whether I'm trying to reduce presence of parts because they're too triggered and can't function in the particular situation, I adjust accordingly. So, for example, when I'm working in my bedroom, I will have a lot more light when I'm trying to focus on something and a lot less light when I'm trying to relax. When I'm driving, I will have my sunglasses mostly on, and then once I notice I'm not quite as reactive as I maybe should be in case something were to happen while I drive, maybe notice myself go a little bit too relaxed, which doesn't happen often because normally I'm on guard, but I'm constantly dysregulated one way or the other. And so if I'm not super high anxiety, then once I get comfortable and in a rhythm of driving, I can get very relaxed and notice that I'm kind of dissociating in that direction. So then I'll take my sunglasses off until things start to feel bright again, and then I'll put them back on. And vice versa. If I have them off and stuff and I notice my anxiety getting too high, then I'll put them back on. And so using light to help me manage my dysregulated autonomic nervous system has been a huge tool. When I was homeless and staying with friends, I would usually just be like in a corner of a living room or something, and I would spend whatever money I had on lamps from the thrift store, and I would just be surrounded with lights and I would use that to turn my brain on when it wouldn't turn on. And now I understand I was in a very free submit mode for those months. And so using that was 4 years ago, actually. So that's when I started to discover it. And then about 2 years ago is when I really understood it to the point of like harnessing it. And then when I was diagnosed with DID about a year and a half ago, that's when I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to put everything I know about myself in a new context of understanding. And everything has grown and developed from there. So it's been quite a journey. I'm really excited to look over through my journey. At the $1 tier on my Patreon campaign, I will be sharing my journey from the past several years. Video blogs that are private, they're not viewable anywhere else, and blog posts that are way in the archives and can't be seen unless you really go way far back in them and stuff. So it's going to be really exciting to see where things have come in the last 4 years since I started seeking mental health treatment and first became disabled from all of this. And I'm really excited to honor those parts of my consciousness that fought through times that I don't even fully remember. It's really incredible what the brain and body will do to survive. And I've had a really hard time honoring that and respecting and validating and appreciating that because I've been angry at it. It's hard to live a life with dissociative identity disorder. It's hard to live a life in trauma recovery. It's hard to live a life with structural dissociation. It's hard to live a life with a neurodevelopmental disorder that people don't understand or have standardized effective treatment for, etc., etc. And so I've just kind of been working on the radical acceptance piece. But the further I get with that, the more I can appreciate everything I went through to survive. And now that I'm understanding those things, I can actually do something about it. I can actually reframe my traumas, reframe my life, and reroute the direction of my life moving forward. The direction it was headed a few years ago was not a very positive one, even a year or two ago. And to now be on a track of making my life not just doable, not just manageable, but actually, enjoyable and fulfilling. That's really beautiful, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity. So the $1 tier on patreon.com/Kristin Chronicles, I'll be sharing that exclusive journey of how the Kristin Chronicles came to be, and it's going to be a very emotional journey. I'm so excited, but so nervous. It's watching videos I don't remember creating, and in that process it triggers, these memories that I haven't been able to consciously tap into, and that can be very overwhelming. But we're at a place where we're ready for it. We've developed the coping tools. We've developed the dual awareness. We've worked on the radical acceptance far enough that we can use some of those tools to process and whatnot. So very excited to keep growing with you all, soul friends. Thank you so much for being a part of our magical, miraculous healing journey. I never thought I would be where I am right now, in a lot of different ways. But life has a way of leading us where we need to be, even if it's not where we wanted. Maybe it's going to be somewhere better in the end. Have a beautiful and blessed day, my soul friends.